From the Wayne County Courthouse in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Wayne Goldsboro Television brings you the meeting of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners. The meeting begins shortly with an agenda briefing, then the regular meeting will begin soon after. Please stand by for the Wayne County Board of Commissioners meeting.
Here we go. Call to order the Wayne County Board of Commissioners agenda meeting. We'll go through our agenda. The invocation this morning is Commissioner John Bell. Pledge of Allegiance is Commissioner Joe Gurley. The approval of the minutes of September the 20th. And then any adjustments to the agenda, Mr. Wood.
We've got one. Marcia just gave you this resolution on the Continental Societies, Inc. And we'd like to add that to the agenda. I guess that'd go under new business, or you could put it under consent agenda. Consent.
Okay, so that'll be item 6 under consent agenda.
And we will need a closed session.
And was this handout that we got here?
Okay, what I've done there, that's already an item on the agenda, but that's the actual construction manager change order that you'll be voting on. That goes with number 4 under new business on page 84, the guaranteed maximum price contract. This is the actual amendment.
Okay,
And
so it's the same amount as in the
It's the same
agenda.
amount. The architects had to work this up, so I asked them to have it to me by yesterday, so that you could go ahead and sign it if y'all approve it today.
Okay. All right, under special recognition, we'll have the introduction of our new Wayne Community College president, Dr. Thomas Walker. And who is going to be making that introduction?
I am.
Okay. Then the introduction of Wayne County Interim Assistant County Manager, Philip Ponder.
And I'll be doing that one.
And then at 9:15, we'll have the public comment period. At 9:30, we have a public hearing on a proposed road name change.
That's, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
that's the one we were talking about.
Yes.
The dog thing. Both Wayne and I had calls from the family last night that they are not interested in having their name attached to that. So what do we do since this is a public hearing? Are we scheduling it, or we need to move back to the planning board? Sorry to tell you that, but we found out last night.
Okay, well, also on the public hearing notice, we had another request for A.B. Barnes Street or Road, A.B. Barnes Road, so you can still have a public hearing and consider that request. They are also property owners.
Yeah, the family had no problem with that.
No, they first submitted A. Barnes Road, and the planning board turned it down due to it just being a single initial, but A.B. Barnes Road would be okay. It's not in conflict with anything, so.
Yeah, I'd recommend you hold the public hearing because you did advertise it.
Right.
And then you can take
agree.
action on whatever you want to do.
Well, that's what I told the family last night. I said, the public hearing has been scheduled. We have to
Right.
have the public hearing, but, we may or may not act on it. But,
Right.
But we have to have the public hearing.
Right.
But it is my understanding that the Dahl family supports the naming of the road Barnes.
They had no problem with
They
it.
Had no problem with that.
Yeah, that's what they said to me.
Told me the same.
Okay. And there basically are only 2 suggestions, is that correct?
There was
Right,
actually
the
3.
Barnes family, first submitted A. Barnes Road, and it was late. It was behind the time frame of when the N.J. Dahl Road was proposed. It was proposed by another family that lives out there, but, in the public hearing notice, I included A. Barnes Road, but I believe we could, as long as you mention another street name in this public hearing, then it would be okay to take action on it if you wanted to. I've already researched A.B. Barnes, and that's more suitable than just A. Barnes Road.
So the planning board would accept A.B. Barnes?
They would, yes.
Okay. All right, then we're going to recess the Board of Commissioners meeting, convene the Wayne County Board of Adjustment meeting, And the Wayne County Board of Adjustment will have a public hearing to receive public comments on a special use permit for a proposed Miller Chapel Solar Farm LLC.
That's right, another solar farm on Miller's Chapel Road, just this side of the railroad tracks there. That's about a little bit over 43 acre solar farm, 5 megawatt. They are they're tracking solar panels. Seymour Johnson has reviewed it, they're okay with the design. They have their buffers in place, they meet all the requirements of our local ordinance. It's been to the planning board, they have site plan approval from the planning board, so it's before you for a special use permit.
Is this not the solar farm we've been talking about for several months, or is this a different one?
This is a different one.
So there are two of them out there on Miller.
There's two on Miller's Chapel Road. We had one a little bit further down the road beyond Goldsboro Milling, on both sides of the road. That's already been approved. It went through the same process, and this is a second solar farm on that same road.
All right, and then upon conclusion of the public hearing, as we are in fact convening as the Wayne County Board of Adjustment, if there is any action, we would need to take that action prior to adjourning.
Right.
Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir. Once they could get their approval, then they would be ready to move forward with obtaining electrical permits.
And this has been through the entire planning board process, and they've recommended approval, as well as Seymour Johnson has reviewed it, and they've recommended.
Correct. And as part of the evidence that was submitted was the letter from Seymour Johnson in here. So.
Okay, does anybody have any questions of Mr. Crumpler? Okay, at that point then, we will entertain a motion while we are acting as the Board of Adjustment. Once any action is taken or no action taken, we will then reconvene, we will adjourn the Wayne County Board of Adjustments and reconvene the Board of Commissioners meeting. The appointment committee will then give their report.
We had two.
Okay. And then under unfinished business, is there any? None that we see? Consent agenda has 6 items now under that. Does anyone have any questions on any of the items under the consent agenda? Mr. Wood, we need to go over any of that? If there's no questions.
Unless y'all want to, I think we're good.
Okay. Under new business, motion to approve Industry Appreciation Month proclamation. And there we will have WCDA industry manager, existing industry manager Tiffany Creech will make that proclamation. We'll read it, is that correct?
That's right.
Any questions on that? We will need a motion on approving that. Who would like to make that motion?
I'll make it.
Item 2 is a Medicare Part D open enrollment presentation. And I'll be interested to hear that.
That's not it, so.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to go by there and get some. I have never seen the literature coming in on the selection. I mean, the book comes in, it's that thick. Maybe we can go by and get cliff notes on it. Item 3 is a motion to approve the National 4-H Week in Wayne County proclamation. 4-H agent Wallace Simmons will present and read the proclamation, and we'll need a motion to approve that. Who would like to make that motion?
I will, if you want.
Okay. Item 4 is a motion to approve the guaranteed maximum price contract to include additional subcontractor components for the Maxwell Regional Agriculture and Convention Center.
You want me to go over that now
Wood.
in detail?
Do we want to go through that now, or wait until our general meeting? Just wait? That way we won't go through it twice.
Okay. Well, Ken and Scott are here now, but they'll also be at the 9 o'clock meeting, so.
Does anyone have any questions of them at this point?
I just want to be careful what we say. I'll tell it like it is.
All right.
I'll go over it in detail at the 9.
Okay. All right, and then we're gonna need a motion upon that, to approve that guaranteed maximum
That's correct.
price. Who'd like to make that motion?
I'll vote.
Is there a motion to authorize the hiring of the Maxwell Regional Agriculture and Convention Center Director?
Yeah. I've been talking to some of the other directors in the state, and one of the things that they stressed is they are doing bookings now for 18 and 19 because people do these things pretty far out. So we really need to get this person on board. But the other thing is we've got all of our policies and procedures to put in place. We don't, for instance, we don't have a schedule of fees yet on what we would charge for specific things, setups, takedowns, the individual rooms as far as what we would charge for those. So we've got a host of things that we've got to get a lot of policies in place. Now, the money for this, we started getting the 2% hotel motel tax from Goldsboro under our agreement in July. Because we gave the notice to proceed on the site work about the 28th of June. That was intentional so that we started the clock on July 1. So we have about 3 months worth, and I think they pay us quarterly. So we'll be getting that check in the next few days from the city. The estimate on that for the budget was $260,000 for the full year if it cranked up July 1, which we have done. So you've got $260,000 coming in this year from that. We showed the revenues coming in. We did not show any expenditures because we were waiting until we made the decision on when to hire this person, and then we would do a budget amendment on that. But my recommendation to you is we go ahead and move forward with that, and then when we actually make a selection and come back to you, we'll do a budget amendment at that time. But that's what we're looking at. The grade is somewhere in the $75,000 to $80,000 a year range. I don't want to pin it down because I need to look at what kind of qualifications we get. If we get somebody who's highly experienced, then obviously we would pay more. And my hope is that we will get someone who has done this because they would have a lot of contacts in the industry. They would have familiarity with the policies and procedures we need, and just make it a lot smoother for us to move through this process over the course of the next year, or 15 months really. But by the time we get them on, my estimation is it'll be a year out, which is not too soon by any means to get this person on board. And I want to stress we're not planning on hiring anybody else until we get much, much closer to the facility being finished. But we do need to have this person on board now to get these policies and procedures in place. And once we have those schedules of fees and things, then obviously they need to be marketing this and get bookings.
All right, anyone have any questions of Mr. Wood on that matter? Not, who would like to make that motion? Mr. Bell. All right, county manager's comments, and then Board of Commissioners committee reports and comments. There will be a work session. This is on the proposed revised NORS ordinance. I think that was in everybody's package. Closed session, you said we would have one?
Yes, sir.
Can we handle that this morning
Right.
before?
Right.
Okay. Do I have a motion that will go into closed session?
So moved.
All right, for the purpose of?
To consider the performance of employees, to discuss location expansion of industries, and to consult with an attorney to preserve the attorney-client privilege.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to go into closed session. Any discussion? Not, all those in favor signify by raising your right hand.
I'll tell you what, I'm